Yeah, hi, good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming on the show. And today, I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about how to build a list with Instagram. Now, this is something that not a lot of people do and use. It's basically it's a sort of a technique that I've picked up from someone that I know I used to work with, and I've started doing it myself, and it does seem to work very well. So I just wanted to share that with you because you're on my list, you're my subscribers, and I think this is a good way to possibly get a list or grow the list if you've already got one, and it works in any niche, and it's pretty cool. So we'll get on to the sort of meat and potatoes in just a moment. But before we do, let's talk a bit about Instagram. So you probably know it's a social network. It's basically it runs on mobiles, and it's only got images and videos, so you can't sort of put any text in there like you do with Facebook. It is owned by Facebook. It's got approximately 300 million users per month. That was the number as of 2015. Not sure if sort of that's gone up recently, but at any rate, it's got a heck of a lot of users going in and enjoying the pictures and interacting with each other. And you've got the ability to follow and unfollow other users. I guess that's similar to other sort of social media type networks. But what's good about this is the fact that if you follow someone, then you get their updates on your feed. So that's all pretty good. Now, so how do we use that massive amount of free traffic and very engaged user, sort of user group? How do we utilize that to grow our list? So the first thing that we do, and this is really the same in any given business, any sort of internet marketing related businesses, we need to strategize. We need to know where we're going, decide on a niche. Now, a lot of people would tell you that you should sort of use a whole bunch of tactical factors like where do people engage the most? What are the biggest niches? Things like where is it easiest to get people to follow or unfollow, or where is the post and all that sort of good stuff. But in my opinion, that's looking at it the wrong way, because niche is all about having a strong niche is all about having some sort of a passion in what you do, so that you can actually talk about it and you can write about it with authority, and so that people would be interested in what you have to say, and then they follow you naturally. So rather than decide on the niche just for the purposes of building a list within Instagram, what I would highly recommend is that if you have an existing niche outside Instagram, you just utilize the methods we're going to be talking about today within Instagram. So you import it in effect into Instagram. And then what you do is you search for the people who are active in your chosen niche. And I used back pain as an example. It's pretty random. It's just because I wrote a book about back pain just recently, which I'm publishing in Amazon. So, that's something that I thought maybe we could use as a case study. I've got another case study just later on to do with sport. But for now, let's just look at back pain. So we either search for people or we search for tags, and you'll see in just a moment, because what I did is I screenshot my mobile earlier today, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So on the left, you've got the people. So if you click back pain people, these are the people that are going to come up, and then what you can do is you can follow them, and they're going to have an interest, within that niche, obviously, because it's either in the name or they come up under that tag. So you can check them out, you can see where they post, or you can just follow them. The alternative thing to do is to utilize the tags facility. So you can see there's a lot of hashtags in there. So that's the posts that are related to back pain. And then what you can do is sort of get into some of the posts and then see who is talking about, back pain. You can drill down if you want it to be more specific. But for the purposes of our example today, you can get into some of these discussions, see who is active on there, and then start to follow them. The reason you want the active users is because you want the people who will possibly take action and utilize the methods I'm going to teach you in just a moment to actually subscribe to your list. So you want action takers, people who are active and possibly feel passionate about this niche, rather than the kind of, people that stand by the sideline and pretty much do nothing. If you can. If you can't, you just follow whoever's within that niche, and then it's sort of boils down to being a numbers game. What you will need to do is unfollow the ones that don't follow you, and I'll sort of touch on that in just a moment as well. Right. So you need to have an engaging profile, because what you do is you're following people with the hope that they're going to follow you back, and you'll see in just a moment that there is some sort of a metric in there, which is it's basically 15%. So roughly 15% of the people that you're going to follow are going to be following you back. But once they follow you back, you want them to be engaged, like you do with any other sort of social network, sort of system. So you need to have an engaging profile. You need to know what you're doing, and sort of just post relevant stuff on there. And then you follow the users that are active in your niche with the most posts for exactly the reasons I've mentioned a couple of minutes ago. You want the active users. And approximately 15% will follow back. So if you do 1,000, 150 are going to follow you back. And obviously the more engaging the profile, the more are going to follow you back. And then you publish interesting, engaging and visually appealing content. That's a little bit like what people would do in Facebook or Twitter. But you want the people to be following you, to be taking an interest in what you do. Now, here is the sort of, I think we're getting onto the secret sauce. What you're doing, so you wait until you have a good number of followers, approximately 2,000 and above. And then what you do is you publish contests and giveaways. So users get a chance to win if they include their email address. So here's an example from someone I've worked with in the past, and this is in the basketball niche, which is actually really, really good for CPA offers, or sporting in general is just great for CPA. So that can be used to build a list specifically for CPA offers. And as you can see here, there are 67 comments. So there's 67 leads that were received from this. Now you don't have to give cash, even though cash is obviously, it's very quick and it's kind of a bit of a lazy way of doing it, but it doesn't have to be cash. So we can be creative. It can be memorabilia that we can get from eBay, or it can be sort of other related things within that niche. There's 101 things that we can do, or we can do cash. And what you find is that the return on investment, so if for example you get 1,000 leads for $100, then the cost per lead is something that you can't really get anywhere else. It's going to be very, very low. Here's another one, and here you got 55 comments, so 55 leads, and here you've got 82 leads, and you can just pretty much do this again and again and again. And then you can either ask users if it's okay to add them to the autoresponder. So you can either put it somewhere sort of prominent, just to say that to give you the explicit permission to add them onto the autoresponder, or what you can do is you can have a double opt-in for that list, and then they're going to have to give you permission anyway to be emailing to them later on. But you'd assume that they would want to be receiving things from you, because they may want to know who the winner is. But anyway, you need to play by the rules. You don't want to be spamming people because that's not good. And then you'd need to basically manage that sort of whole operation, because you don't want people who you follow and then they unfollow you back. That limits you. I can't remember the exact limit of how many people you can have on Instagram, but at some stage you might hit that limit, and then you want to get rid of the ones who haven't followed you back. And then you can use different software. This one is one of the leading ones. I think that they've got a free version, or they've got a paid version, which is not very expensive. And then what you do is you kind of weed out the ones which haven't followed you, and you concentrate on the ones that that did follow you. And you can do this time and time again in different niches, again and again and again. And what I really like about this is that you're getting a very sort of passionate group of people. So they're going to be responsive. You know that when they get on the list, they're going to be taking action. If it's CPA, they're going to be purchasing things, or sort of getting their email addresses onto different other sort of different contests and what have you, which is the way that CPA works. Or you can be selling affiliate products to them and such like. But it's a good range of people, which you don't have so much from the kind of the usual the other methods of getting a list, for example, solo ads and stuff like that, which people do get a bit jaded. So it's good to have a different source of engaged leads, because they're going to be more reactive and they're going to be happier to be hearing from you moving forward. So that's it really, guys. As I said, I know some people who are who've built a substantial even list using these methods. I've started doing it myself, and it does work, and I plan to use that method on some other the sort of contest idea on some other not just Instagram, but I plan to basically replicate it in other means, which I'll happily share with you later on. So that's all for me. Thank you so much for your time. Take care. Peace.